6.9 Program Coding. This is the second crucial aspect. First aspect is program designing. Program designing is totally human activity. It is a strategy. It is like preparing a route map. Total all activities involved in that are human steps, human activities. Now, you have developed a clear strategy. Then, program coding means translating or transforming your algorithm into computer language instructions. This is nothing but writing the program. So, this is called program coding. In program coding, several steps we have to follow essentially. First thing is, certain essential characteristics of the program are there every time, depending on the context I am explaining. Here, just I briefly give, somewhere I give a detailed explanation about that. Essential characteristics of a program. Every good program should have some essential characteristics. Not only C program, the programs in every language should satisfy all these essential characteristics. First one is accuracy. Then program should work accurately. Second one, uniformity. Uniformity means while you are writing code, uniform styles you have to follow. One type of element, one type of style only, uniform style only throughout the program you should follow. Otherwise, it leads to confusion, mainly for the beginner programmers and all that. And apart from that, it represents your inconsistency and readability. Readability is a very important feature. Very important. Your program should be highly readable. That means whoever reads our program, as far as possible, he has to understand it very easily. So, several measures already I explained. Some I am going to explain depending on the context. Readability. Third, accuracy, uniformity, readability. Simplicity. As far as possible, you have to write codes in a simple manner. Suppose if you write a complex code, a number of lines may be reduced. But even though it is always better you write a simple code, it should be easily understandable and simple logics is used. Efficiency. Efficiency of the program depends on two factors, mainly how much memory it occupies, and the second one is how fastly it executes. It is executed. Two things, that is memory size and time of execution. That you have to take into consideration. That is efficiency. So a program takes lesser memory and it executes faster. It is called as an efficient program. Modularity. Modularity already explained. As far as possible, all the main task is dissected into subtasks, and for achieving each such subtask, you have to develop modular modules. That is called modular program. The modularity improves the readability of the code, debugging and program testing process will be easy. Generality. Generality means as far as possible, if possible, your program should be developed in general aspect, not only specific aspect. As far as possible, it should be flexible to serve other needs also, other closer or relevant needs. So, as far as possible, it depends on the case, and you develop your program in a with generality. So, these are the essential characteristics of a good program: accuracy, uniformity, readability, simplicity, efficiency, modularity, and generality. Elsewhere, I will give a detailed explanation. Thereafter, comments, and you have to insert appropriate comments throughout the program, not only at the top. As a matter of convention, at the top of the program, we write a comment which represents its task, and throughout the alongside of the program, we write comments. Where we have to write comment, 3 R's of comment: right comment, right form, and right place. Where things are not obvious, in all such places, you have to write comments in a appropriate form and you have to place it in a appropriate place. So, comments improves the readability of the program, but comments do not create any executable code. Legible output. Always, not only generating a result, you should produce output in such a readable format or conventional format. So, legible output with proper labels you have to develop, because your client does not know which language you have used, which technology you used, and how many hours you spend on that. He knows how elegantly, how smartly he is able to give input, how elegantly system is taking input, and how is getting a readable output. That's why always you have to develop very readable output in a conventional and elegant format. And prompt statements. Prompt statements are very core. Always you remember ATM. Most of you go to ATM almost very frequently. You know how the prompt statement will guide you at every stage. So these whatever programs you develop are not for you. Those are for your client. Always take into consideration of the client's standard of understanding or education. So always it should be clear for every client. So take into consideration of your client's education, client's stand of knowledge, and depending on that, you develop prompt statement. In all the situations, prompt statement should guide the user. So always you must develop user-friendly programs. That is a task. If you, however, standard of intelligence you apply in the program is immaterial, how it is user-friendly is very material. So while coding, you must take into consideration of all these points. Even sometimes, because of readability, you have to write more statements. Then efficiency, because of more statements, the efficiency may be reduced. Even though whenever a conflict comes between readability and efficiency, readability, you have to give more preference to readability. Even a few statements are more also, it's not the problem. You have always give more preference to readability, and prompt statements will always enable user to use the program very easily. All these points you keep in mind.